So Resident Evil 4 VR just came out. A lot of people are giving reviews and they're giving the game praise. And outside of it being Resident Evil 4, considered one of the greatest games ever made, a game that changed third-person shooters forever, people are saying that the transition to VR was actually done very well. So before we get into the main topic, I just want to say that nothing I'm talking about here will reflect Resident Evil 4 VR's gameplay. If you still have interest in Resident Evil 4 VR's gameplay and just playing the game, then the game sounds like it does a great job of going from third person normal controller scheme to VR. I'm hearing that this game actually handles movement in first person very well, where a lot of VR shooters struggle with that. I haven't heard any people say they've been getting any motion sickness. So the game seems to be well made from that perspective. However, it's 2021, and of course things from the past have to be changed for the people of today, apparently. So let's get into what I'm talking about with Resident Evil 4. What is it about this version that's different? Well, they changed some of the dialogue. I'm going to go over some of the things they talked about, but I want to focus on one major character and why I find this part particularly interesting. Let's get the small stuff out the way. Pretty much anytime Leon semi-flirted or made some snarky comment to Hunnigan, they removed it. Why? I don't know. Is Resident Evil 4 VR trying to tell us that a man talking to a woman or flirting with a woman or flirting with a colleague is wrong? Maybe so. Maybe you can make the argument that flirting with someone you work with is wrong, despite the fact people do it often, all the time. And not only that, it seems to be wrong one-sidedly. Now, what I mean by that is typically if we see a female flirting with a male, it is considered fine. If a male is flirting with a female, it is wrong. Now, again, in this game, they changed a lot of the dialogue. I don't see any reports of them changing any of the things that Ada Wong did or any of the scenes with Ada where she's kind of leading on Leon. Now, why is that? I don't know. Again, I have to go back to what I think, which is today they want to put the message that men flirting with women and being the aggressor in, I don't know, sexual tension is wrong. Women being the lead is okay, whatever. Now let's get that basis off of here and let's go to the funniest part to me. In Resident Evil 4, the main goal is to get the president's daughter back. Her name is Ashley Graham. And for those who don't know, Ashley Graham in Resident Evil 4, as depicted since 2004, then I think that game came out 2004, 2003. She is a 20-year-old grown adult woman. So in this game, there are characters who may make comment on Ashley's look. Ashley is what you would call blessed in the chest area. That's how they designed her. She's not real. She's a fictional character. And there are characters that make points about that from time to time. And in one scene that they changed, there's a part where a character is saying that, oh, the president packed his daughter with a lot of ballistics, in referring to her breasts. I know.
Small world, eh? Well, I see that the president's equipped his daughter with ballistics, too.
How rude! And I don't believe there's any relevance with my figure and my standing. Who are you?
Oh, excuse me, Your Highness. Perhaps the young lady might want to introduce herself first before asking someone his name.
Her name's Ashley Graham, the president's daughter.
Is she... Leon! Small world, eh?
Who are you?
Oh, excuse me, Your Highness. Perhaps the young lady might want to introduce herself first before asking someone his name.
Her name's Ashley Graham, the president's daughter.
Is she...
It sounds corny, it sounds lame, it sounds bad, it sounds rude and nasty for a man to say that to a woman. But I want you guys to understand something. That was the point. The point of the character saying that is because that was the character. The character was kind of a womanizer-esque type of guy. He said probably not the nicest things to women in flirting, and that's what he was doing with Ashley. And she responded by basically catching an attitude. Now that they've changed it and removed that, it appears that Ashley just has an attitude with this guy for no reason. This changes not the overall story, of course, but it changes the character. Ashley goes from being this scared but sweet acting girl to now she's just mean. See, you can't just take pieces out of stories and make things make sense. And they did it simply to be woke, which is weird because wouldn't it be also woke to show a woman snapping back at a man being nasty? Isn't that like girl power and all that? So I'm confused. They don't want to show the man being mean. Isn't that also a part of what they want? To show men being nasty and mean, to show that, ooh, men are the patriarchy? I don't know anymore. I don't know what their goals are anymore. I'm not even trying to figure it out. I honestly believe they just took that out just in case someone had a problem with it. But the other part, and this is the last one I'll leave you with, is the end scene where after Leon saves the day, gets Ashley back, Ashley asks Leon in a flirtatious way, hey, what are you doing after this? Do you want to do some overtime?
So, after you take me back to my place, how about we do some, overtime?
Sorry.
Somehow I knew you'd say that, but it doesn't hurt to ask, you know? So, who was that woman anyway?
Why do you ask?
Come on, tell me. So, who was that woman anyway?
Why do you ask?
Come on, tell me.
Kind of figure out Ashley is asking Leon at the very least for a date, at the most some type of you know what, some bound chicka wow wow. There you go. Leon declines. Ashley goes on to change the subject. I don't see anything wrong with this because Ashley is an adult woman. For whatever reason, people have decided in their brain that Ashley is not an adult. And that's why people are saying, oh, I'm glad this line is gone. She was a kid. She was a kid. I don't even know why they put that. I'm like, Ashley was never a kid. I don't know where people got the idea she was a kid from. I guess maybe it was her high sounding voice, but there are adult women that have that voice, especially a woman who's 20. Maybe she's not fully growing yet. You know, maybe that slight deepness grown women get in their voice hasn't kicked in yet, but some women just don't get it at all. But the point is that a 20-year-old woman talking to, how old would Leon be at this time? Maybe 30 at the most. If she wants to sleep with him, isn't that what's being promoted today? That's fine. A woman is able to do what she wants with her body. And keep in mind, it's silly for me to talk about this because we're not talking about an actual woman and an actual man. We're talking about video game characters. But this is the argument for taking it out. So I'm not here to say they're wrong for taking it out because I understand why they did. And I'm not saying they had to keep it in. Overall, I play games for the gameplay. If I really cared about Resident Evil 4 story that much, I would just play the original one if I were you. But I'm asking you, the viewer, do you understand the motives behind why they took it out? Because I don't. Because keeping these things in actually would feed into, depending upon how you spin it, what they want. They want to show women being sexually dominant or sexual leaders because it's okay